snowbanks going down the slope.
I know, I was like, well, I shot sledding yesterday, they didn't use, and I'm like, well, that's not gonna work.
And today it's gonna be 60.
Yeah, and the snow's gonna be on, it's just the sledding. Yeah.
Although we can use it.
Downtown is a lot. Yeah. So I'm shooting a game on the next Sunday, and I'm just looking at how fast, I'm like, do you use rain, the snow's gonna.
I'd rather be 12 degrees than
Morning, everyone. Okay, let's dive right in. Thank you for joining us. Happy almost New Year to everyone. And I hope each of you had a wonderful, joyful holiday with your families and got to relax a little bit. We are here, as usual, to just give a little bit of the updates and preparations behind all the excitement headed into First Night in Boston. And I want to thank all my colleagues who you'll hear from shortly, and including those who are here as support for all that they do day to day. So we are joined by our Chief of Emergency Management, Adrian Jordan, Chief of Streets, Nick Gove, Chief of Arts and Culture, Kenny Mascari, our Director of, I always get the Tourism, Special Events, and Sports. Our Director of Tourism, Sports, and Entertainment, John Borders. Chief Kenneth Green of the MBTA, Commissioner Michael Cox of the Boston Police Department, Commissioner Paul Burke of Boston Fire, Chief Jimmy Hooley of Boston EMS, and Madam President Dusty Rhodes of Conventures. I also want to acknowledge Amy Yandel, Amy's down there for some reason, Amy of our special events team, who makes sure that every event across the city goes off seamlessly. Thank you for all that you do. So nearly 50 years ago tonight, our First Night tradition began in Boston, when quilter Clara Wainwright brought together a group of local artists and performers to try something new to welcome the new year. A family-friendly celebration of art, joy, and community was born. Now, First Night in Boston is known around the world, and we are proud that of these 50 years, the last 3 now have been on City Hall Plaza. We're continuing the Boston tradition of celebrating with our neighbors and enjoying more than 12 hours of live performances, beautiful ice sculptures, fireworks, a parade, and more. In a moment, Dusty will share more about all the free programming happening on City Hall Plaza and across the city. But first, we want to make sure that everyone stays safe and has a couple reminders, because keeping all of us safe involves each and every one of us. And as always, Boston Police and our first responders will be present throughout the evening. Boston EMS and Fire will have extra personnel on hand in case anyone needs emergency medical support. And we want to remind everyone joining us for First Night, this year especially, please dress warmly for the weather. We know that temperatures will be quite chilly, and we want everyone to stay bundled up nice and warm. Don't use or sell fireworks, fly drones, or consume alcohol or other substances in public spaces. And please, if you see anything suspicious, please reach out and report it to make sure, just in case, that everybody is safe. We will hear more from Commissioner Cox, Chief Hooley, and Commissioner Burke as well on how each of their teams have been preparing. On transportation, we also want to make sure that everyone can get safely to and from First Night. Because of late night programming, road closures, and parking restrictions, please, if at all possible, take public transportation instead of driving. Starting at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, the MBTA will be offering free service on the T, bus, ferry, commuter rail, and the ride. Service will also run later than usual, with the last trains leaving between 1:45 a.m. and 2:45 a.m., depending on which line. And we'll hear more from Chief Green on all the details and logistics. So thank you to everyone. Happy New Year, and otra vez en español. Buenos días. Estos días hacen casi 50 años nuestra tradición de la primera noche comenzó en Boston. Ahora, por el tercer año consecutivo en la Plaza de la Alcaldía, continuamos con la tradición de Boston de celebrar con nuestros vecinos, disfrutando de más de 12 horas de actuaciones en vivo, esculturas de hielo, fuegos artificiales, un desfile y más. Sabemos que mantener a todos seguros nos hace cuidarnos unos a otros. Por eso, Boston es la ciudad más segura del país. La policía estará presente durante toda la noche y paramédicos tendrán personal adicional a mano en caso de que alguien necesite apoyo médico de emergencia. Y queremos recordar a todos que se unen a nosotros para la primera noche. Visítanse bien para el clima, no usen ni vendan fuegos artificiales, no vuelen drones en ninguna actividad de la primera noche, no consuman alcohol o otras sustancias en espacios públicos y informen a las autoridades de cualquier cosa sospechosa. También queremos asegurarnos de que todos puedan ir y pasar la primera noche de forma segura. Debido a la programación nocturna, los cierres de carreteras y las restricciones de estacionamiento, tomen transporte público en lugar de conducir si posible. A partir de las 8 de la noche, el miércoles, el transporte público ofrecerá servicio gratis en el tren, autobús, ferry y The Ride. El servicio se ejecutará más tarde de lo habitual y los últimos trenes saldrán entre las 1:45 de la mañana y las 2:45, dependiendo de la línea. Gracias y feliz Año Nuevo. Okay, now I'll pass it over to Commissioner Michael Cox.
Hello, everyone. For this year's First Night Boston 2026, the Boston Police Department will have, as always, working closely with the Mayor's Office and our public and private partners in making sure that the community is safe. We have a comprehensive security plan that will support this family-friendly environment with all participants and visitors and spectators being able to enjoy themselves and have a really good time this year. The Boston Police Department will have officers in and around the first night celebrations, both in plainclothes and uniform capacity, to help keep people safe so everyone can enjoy this day and night's events and evening. Because this is a family-friendly event, to reiterate some of the things that the mayor just mentioned, we have a couple of do's and don'ts that we want to emphasize again. Please do not consume alcohol, drink or drive, smoke marijuana, all illegal and will be enforced, as well as use of fireworks. Please leave it to the professionals. Please do not fly drones in around the first night activities. Please do dress for the weather, as the mayor mentioned before. It should be cold that evening. Please use public transportation. Chief Green from the T will be here to talk about all the many forms of transportations that are available that night. We will have many blocking vehicles and street closures, so it's really important that you seek alternate modes of transportation. Very important to also emphasize, unrelated to the first night festivities, is that in all our cities and communities throughout the city, we'll have a full complement of police officers working to make sure that all parts of the city are safe. If you are anywhere in the city, if you see something, please say something. If there's large parties, unruly behavior, large noise, or you just have a concern, please dial 911 and let us know. Whether you're in a neighborhood first night or if you're in any part of our community, it's really important that if you see something, say something, and so we can all have a very safe New Year. Up next will be Chief Burke from the Fire Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everybody. Public safety is our top priority during first night festivities. The Boston Fire Department will be fully prepared with additional staffing and specialized resources. We'll be located throughout the city with the ability to respond quickly to emergencies along with our police officers and EMTs. As usual, we'll be working closely with our public safety partners to keep this event safe for all. Our members will be focused on fire prevention, emergency medical response, and rapid coordination during any incident. We will also have additional personnel dedicated to ensuring safety during the fireworks display. Our nightclub inspectors will be monitoring places of assembly for overcrowding and compliance with fire and life safety codes. All of our personnel will be wearing high visibility gear and be positioned in key locations. Members of the public should feel free to approach any firefighter, police officer, or EMT with questions, concerns, or if assistance is needed. Remember that if you see something that concerns you, please say something to the nearest public safety official. We encourage everyone to celebrate responsibly, stay aware of your surroundings, and follow instructions from public safety officials if an emergency arises. Our goal is for First Night to be a safe and enjoyable event for all residents, visitors, and families alike. Chief James Hooley from EMS will be speaking next.
Thank you, Commissioner. Morning, Mayor. Morning, everybody. Just quickly, Boston EMS is proud to support this great event, the series of events that are associated with First Night going back all these many years. However, just like any big event, we realize that it's First Night in every neighborhood of the city, right? So across the whole town. So we realize that we want to keep up a good posture in our neighborhoods, as well as downtown, to support the events that we hope everybody does come out to and enjoy. So with that, I would say that whether you're celebrating with us at First Night in Boston or you're ringing in the new year elsewhere, we encourage everyone to take some simple steps to ensure it's a safe night and enjoyable. Sometimes some unnecessary trips to an emergency room can be avoided by some simple steps and common sense. So first of all, celebrate responsibly. If alcohol is going to be part of your plans, please drink in moderation, pace yourself, know your limits. Celebrating responsibility also means looking out for yourself and the people you're with. So if you're hosting at home or if you're attending events, whatever, be a good buddy, be a good friend, be a good host, be a good wingman, wingwoman, whatever. Keep an eye on the people you're with, okay? Don't let somebody wander off, or if they've had a little bit too much, take care of them. Make sure you get them home safe, or arrange for that to happen. Please have a transportation plan ahead of time for yourselves. Use the MBTA, a ride share service, or designate a sober driver. Have that plan in advance. Dress appropriately, as the mayor pointed out. The weather can be a great equalizer, and sometimes folks, when they get dressed up, they don't plan for how cold it's going to be come closing time. As always, we'll be here if you need us. For large events like this, we do staff additional personnel and dispatch operations, ambulances across the city. Members of special events will have extra equipment out on the common, a lot of the areas where, where the fireworks and other things are going to be. So, feel free to come up to us. Again, we look forward to this every year. This is a family-friendly event, and everybody from, I want to thank all the EMTs and paramedics at Boston EMS and all the public safety, healthcare, the hospitals, all the city officials that are going to be staffing up extra to make this a good event citywide. And happy 2026, Boston. Oh, and it's my pleasure at this time to introduce Chief Transit Police Chief Ken Green.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. I want to start by encouraging everyone to utilize the MBTA transportation system to come into the city of Boston to enjoy all the festivities. But as a reminder, the First Night celebration is a family-oriented event, so please act responsibly and be respectful to one another, to include being respectful to MBTA personnel, the very same people who are responsible to get you to your destination in a timely and safe manner. The consumption of alcohol and or unruly behavior will not be tolerated while you're riding on the MBTA. We will have additional transit police officers, both uniformed and in plain clothes. We will also have our special operations units assigned to this event as well to ensure the safety of all of our riders. Currently, there are no known threats, credible or otherwise, that would suggest that the MBTA is a target. However, we'll stay in close communication with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners throughout this event, just to stay on top of any intel that may arise. But if you should see something, please do not hesitate to say something. The transit police can be contacted at 617-222-1212, or you can simply speak to any public safety official or transportation official you see at the event to report anything suspicious. The main thing is just to alert law enforcement that something is suspicious. If you have a smartphone, take a moment to download the free CSAY app that the MBTA provides for its riders. This app will allow you to send messages and or photographs that go directly to a monitor which is monitored 24/7 by our dispatchers at Transit Police Operations. You will receive a reply, but we may or may not need additional information, but we'll send officers to that location immediately to investigate. Another feature for this app is when you send all that information to us, you can remain anonymous. It's a great app to have. It's a great tool for us to, or helps us to keep our system safe. So take a moment to download that free app. Regarding service on New Year's Eve, as the mayor has already stated, at 8 p.m., the subway, bus, ferry, and the ride will be free. Commuter rail service will be free on trains that arrive or depart North or South Station from 8 p.m. through the end of service. Also, the subway will run on a regular weekday schedule until 3 p.m. After 3 p.m., services will increase. The commuter rail, bus, ferry, and ride will run on a regular weekday schedule. If any additional information is needed regarding service on the MBTA for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, please access our website at mbta.com. Next up, President of Conventures, Dusty Rhodes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Commissioner, Mayor. Thank you so much for letting us be here. I want to emphasize the word first, because First Night was the first of its kind in the country, and 50 years later, we're here, and we're still here, and we could not be here if it weren't for the people behind me, because without the support of all these public safety agencies and city efforts, we couldn't do this. Hundreds of thousands of people will come to this free event, but the beauty of the event is the children. They're absolutely charming to see the baby strollers and the little kids with the little fluffy fluorescent things in their hair and in their garb. It's truly charming. And the day starts off with 12 hours of entertainment in 10 locations around the city. And we're thrilled to be able to have everything centered here at Government Center. We also have activities over at Copley Square, we're glad to have some things back there, and the Public Library, and the Boston Common, archery, skating, 2 fireworks displays. 7 o'clock, Mugar Family Foundation, after these many years, again, is having the 7 o'clock fireworks. And of course, then at midnight, we have over Boston Harbor. And between the ice sculptures and the music and the entertainment and the puppets, we really encourage everyone, come on down. It's one night a year. You can bring your family and enjoy it so much. And thank you again to the people behind me, because we couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
Did you say archery? You said archery? Yes. Okay, I don't know how Commissioner Cox let that one by, but come on down. Questions for anyone?
Just curious, it's been a few years now since things have moved over here from Copley. Just curious if you feel like this is a safer place to hold this event? Is it easier for transit? What makes City Hall Plaza a great spot for the main event?
Want to start with safety, and then I'll chime in on the plaza overall?
Naturally, Copley Square went under major renovation. Let me go back even further. First Night used to be ticketed and in indoor venues. We consolidated into Copley Square about 15 years ago because there's just such great architecture, and we wanted it all in one place. Then the construction, so we moved over to Government Center. In an ideal world, we would be able to, going forward, be in several locations in the city. I can't speak to security or safety. I turn that back over to you, Commissioner.
It doesn't matter where the venue is in the city. Our job is to make sure it's a safe event, and we do all we can by partnering with all our public safety partners that are here in the public to make sure that we're safe. And so, yeah, it doesn't really matter where the places are. Thank you.
And City Hall Plaza had also undergone some major renovations in the last few years to make it fully accessible to everyone, to create a more usable sense of space. And so it's been nice to get good usage out of that. And as Dusty said, the hope is that once all of these spaces are up and running again, this event continues to grow for the next 50 years, and we'll be able to use each and every one of the options that are available.
Is the plan to kind of keep First Night Center
Yeah, well, we have, I think, one really exciting bit of additional planning that's happening on top of everything that we're talking about for the next several months is all of the summer festivities that will be taking place in summer of 2026 between Tall Ships, World Cup, and the semi-quincentennial celebrations. We'll get a good sense then with all of the major spaces really being utilized to their max, what works, how, and how all the pieces can fit together. People often like to be able to go from place to place as well, and so creating distinct and unique experiences in different places and then kind of connecting them all also helps all the small businesses in each one of those areas. So we want to max out how much foot traffic there is, how many people are coming in, having a good time, supporting our local businesses, keeping those dollars in the local economy, and I think we'll talk about it after this year is done. But when construction is done in all of those spaces and ready for the summer, we'll be able to really see how to utilize all of those to the best that we can.
And then maybe just a word on the significance of reaching 50 years for this celebration. That feels like a huge milestone. So either Mayor, if you want to take that, or Dusty, or whoever.
Yeah, why don't you go first?
The significance of 50 years?
50 years, yeah.
This event started, quite frankly, as a very, very small, more of a literary, if you will, a quiet sort of bookish arts, and it just grew. But when we took it over in 2013, we needed to amplify all the different aspects of art and entertainment, and skewing it, again, back to being free family festival. Thank you.
I've had the chance to learn a bit from Clara and some of the original founders, what their dreams were in that moment, and also what they continue to do for the city and how they are still very involved in making sure that this is a community where everyone is welcome and we're making the most of all of the energy and the creativity here. I think anyone who has been to the first night parade and seen the incredible costumes and the figures and the puppets and all that, it's an unforgettable experience, and we hope that kids will come year after year. And it's now at the point where some of the children who first saw it back then have now taken multiple generations of their family to experience this, and we want to keep that going. Boston is a city that's known for a lot of things about our history, but we're also a city that is incredibly innovative and creative. In this hub of arts and science, it all kind of comes together as we kick off the new year, and we want to make sure this tradition continues to grow.
Just thinking logistically for families with small children and the temperature being in the teens, I mean, us Bostonians, we're good with the cold, but can they expect like warming stations? Will there be those heated lamps? Like, just so the cold doesn't scare families off, maybe?
Want to say anything? Chief Hooley and Dusty? How to deal with the cold?
We will have a few warming stations, but nothing is as good as just bundle up, stay warm, come in by public transportation. There will be some warming stations, but again, you can't accommodate the entire crowd. And I believe we're going to have some snow flurries too, which I think will be quite enchanting. One thing I did want to mention, and the mayor mentioned it very well, the semi-quincentennial is kicking off this year with First Night, and that is a wonderful celebration with Boston 250, and we're looking forward to kicking it all off day after tomorrow.
Dusty, are there any indoor parts of this, like people can duck into the library?
Yes.
And other locations too?
And Copy Square Mall.
Okay, great. Do you want anything on weather?
Again, because a lot of the stuff is outside, and again, we try to, actually, the families are usually, they get this the most. Believe it or not, most of the time, like down by the rinks, on the Common, or during the ice show, at the end of the parade, families and kids are smarter than adults when it comes to dressing for the weather. So I will say that. That's my impression. But anyway, with that though in mind, at some of the larger venues, what we do is we keep track of where there are places where we can get folks into shelter if need be. But we also, down by the Common, we'll have a large, it looks like a bus, but it's a Tango 10. It's a call sign for it. It's basically it's licensed as a Class 5 ambulance, but we have heat in there. So if we have to evaluate anybody who's that we have to get out for a little bit out of the elements, we have the ability to bring them in for that, and for any other sites where we set up for the outdoor activities, we'll identify spaces where we can move people.
What time does the programming start? What time does the programming start?
2 o'clock.
Okay, so I think one other piece I would, just as someone who is thinking through this very challenge of how to keep everyone bundled up, the programming starts at 2 o'clock, so you can come a little bit on the earlier side on New Year's Eve and make sure that you know, as the temperature continues to drop, especially if you have young kids, you can come on the early side. There are places to duck into, like the library and Copley Mall and other places nearby, some warming stations, and just please be prepared, bring layers, and if you are at all starting to feel like you're getting too cold, we will have lots of personnel on site, first responders and EMS there. Reach out to anyone and they'll get you connected to medical support just to make sure you can get checked out as well.
So just about checking, the event is going to happen in the plaza and also in Public Square, not in any other neighborhoods.
Any other locations you want to highlight?
Boston Common, Government Center, Copley Square, First Church, Christ Scientists, Boston Harbor.
Yeah. A couple locations Back Bay downtown. They're all on the website, Boston First Night. Good. Yeah.
Again, being logistically, like, there's going to be food trucks, and can we go through just some of the specifics that people can expect to see?
There will be food trucks, and there will be street vendors selling the flashy little 2026 things that the children inevitably buy, and then of course the horns that they blow. So there'll be a lot of food trucks around. Obviously, working with Meet Boston and the city, we're trying to encourage people also to patronize the restaurants, because this is presumably a great economic driver for the city.
All right. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.